Hello, amazing souls. Welcome back to another episode with me on my channel, Cosmic Contracts. So, today we are going to talk about the Order of the Blue Rose, or known as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And recently there was a Netflix show, The Order, made on that. Though I didn't watch that much, but then the concept really, like, once I started watching, I realized that, I need to compile the information I have and put it in a video. So, when we talk about this order, now we already know, those who are in occult or in spiritual practices, that for a very very long time there have been secret societies and very mystical societies. But the only reason they are secret or mystical is because back in the times, if you have dug a little bit of history, you'll know that there was huge control over the people who worked with the universal energies, and they were termed as witches or wizards because they were able to manipulate, or these were advanced beings. And right at that point, maybe the planets, the collective souls of this planet, I mean, were not that evolved to understand what was happening. Today we have science, we have machines to map the energy, we are learning more about quantum energy. So today we have scientific evidence. To some extent there is much more to be found, but at least now we can support something. So back then we could not do that, right? So therefore, when on the surface, people were restricted and controlled from not being practiced, and if they did, they were severely punished. What happened is that these teachings, they went underground, and secret schools started to operate. All right. So it's a very ancient secret order. It's not just few thousand years old or something. It really goes back. It was an open school back in the times of Lemuria, and in the times of Atlantis. For some time, it was still open. But when conflict started to begin between Atlantis and Lemuria, they had the same pattern that they had to go underground, and they had to operate from the hidden, right, from the dark sides. And then it starts, but from where does it start? So there's no such timeline from where it starts, but it really starts. This is what I have channeled and some that I have researched. So it's a mix of both, whatever I'm presenting, and just pick what it feels correct to you. So it started from the expansion of when this universe started to expand itself, conscious wise, energy wise, and it started to expand its heart space, the heart chakra, which led to more creation of pearls. Because now you just connect with your heart. Your heart desires so many things, and above all, it desires to experience that joy, that love, a little bit of compassion, and unconditional love. It wants to experience so many things, right? That little poor heart that we keep talking about over the world. So now the heart of the universe, the heart space of the universe, wants to experience these feelings. So the amount of universes or galaxies, if you believe in multidimensional universes or just one universe with trillions and infinite galaxies, wherever your mind can expand to, remember, it's way way beyond what we can even grasp. But it created worlds in order to collect data of these feelings and kind of feed it into their systems. So from 11th dimensions, it started moving into the lower dimensions, because it knew that if it wants to really experience these feelings that the heart was now desiring, it has to come into a physical form to experience. Like if we leave this body, then the five senses that we are used to, the soul will not experience that. And therefore the soul needs a body in order to experience all those five senses. So because of those sensory five sense, it is collecting a lot of data. Okay. So it started moving into the lower dimensions, but lower dimensions are heavy, and that means this energy kind of distorts more and more the more deeper it goes, and it is heavily distorted in the very lower realms that are below. Like we are in the third dimension, moving to fourth dimension, but they are heavily distorted in the second or the first dimension. But that does not mean it's just like imagine you can imagine, for an example, that there's a lot of pollution, and pollution clouds are covering the beautiful blue sky of our planet. So yet we need to remember that this energy is present and available, and with a little attunement, with that frequency, we all have access, but the level is going to be a little different. I'll explain that later. So now these teachings are coming from various places, and it was finally, it traveled, like they are collecting data, and then now they have to experiment. So there's no such timeline, but billions million years ago, we don't know. But then in at one particular point of time and space, they finally established, in physical form, they established in the deep sea of planet Sirius. And there it was protected. This blue ray was protected, served, and guarded by the sea people, or the merman people that we are connecting with, especially people who are coming from planet Sirius. Now, in order to experience this energy and expand consciousness further, many dropped into the physical incarnation as one element or two element or multiple element beings, and incarnated on planet Venus, which was once a green planet and now blue. And here on planet Venus, right, coming from the great grand central sun, these souls, collective souls, they incarnated on Venus. They created a light temple here, and the high priestess of this light temple was none other than Aphrodite. Aphrodite is known as a goddess of love, of fertility. She's also known as Venus herself, and she is talking about the sexual using of the sexual energy to create. Remember, you cannot create without the sexual desires and using of your sexual energy. So the concept of sexual energy is very, very limited in third dimension. It's just limited to physical intercourse. That's it. But it has a more. The energy is very precious, and it can help you create mentally, emotionally, physically, and it has more meaning to it, and it can really advance your spiritual awakening, and it can really advance your soul to other dimensions as well. There is more to it, which also we cannot grasp. Only I think the very, very advanced souls on this planet would be able to help us with that. So this goddess, who's also called goddess of Venus, of love and fertility, it's her teachings and the initiates that were trained in this temple on planet Venus that they started. Now they have become, the trainees, right? So they became students, then they got initiated, and now they are on the phase of becoming teachers. So now when they're becoming teachers, they have to go to different planets to work there. Okay. Now it's like you're given a project. Now what is this? That it is from that temple, right? These initiates are now incarnating into various 3D or lower planets, 3D dimension or lower dimension planets, to incarnate and leave the energy vibration to increase and leave behind the energy vibration on that particular planet and for all the living sentients. So it's like collection of energy, and they are storing it into Mother Gaia, and this will help the planet's energy to raise. Now imagine if you raise your energy in love rather than fear. Those who have experienced the energy shift know what I'm talking about, and the others might not understand. But the shift that you feel in your energy internally, that imagine now everybody on the planet is able to do, and the entire planet itself is able to hold and cultivate that energy. And now imagine multiple planets being able to do so. This is how the energy is being sent via these souls and spread across the galaxies and universes. So, like when you pick up any mythology, these are these god and goddesses, and especially the divine counterparts that we find across our planet. They came with this energy. So who are these? Isis and Osiris, Mother Mary, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Radha Krishna, Buddha and Yashodhara. Now many people say Buddha left. So many people say like Buddha left Yashodhara and then he went on his path of monkhood. Yeah, he did. But right after getting enlightenment, when he opened his eyes, the first thing he said is that I want to go and meet Yashodhara, right? Because he needed her forgiveness, and he realized that what he did to her was wrong. And if he really wanted to feel the divine unconditional love, her love and forgiveness was much needed. So it's in a different way that they share the light on this planet, but that is their story. And now various school names you must have heard now, like Hermetic to Mystery Egyptian Schools, Rosicrucians, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Freemasons. The names are changing over centuries. They come up and take new names as with new time and their needs, but the teachings remain the same. Okay, and the core teachings are going to remain the same no matter what the name is, what the society is. If it's a society of light, it is working for the divine feminine and working with mysteries of inner heart space. Now what is so special about working with the inner heart space and working with the energies of compassion, kindness, or peace, and getting all that into harmony and having an harmonious existence? How it's tough to explain, because if you experience it, only the feeling that you experience, you will it's your truth, and it's very, very personal. You can experience compassion in one way, and for me it can mean another way. There are infinite ways, but remember, heart is like a receiver and sender, and it catches the energy from the universe and sends it out. It has, you can imagine, if it's a receiver and sender, so it has a more, if we could just expand our consciousness and imagine the level of energy exchange and how we can serve this energy via our physical body, right? Like Dalai Lama himself said that we have very intellectual people on this planet, like they can rule 100 planets, but we need more of light warriors who can use their energy of compassion, of kindness. Like, do this little experiment. When you find negative people, it's very easy to lose your cool, but can you hold your cool and not just take a step back and hold yourself in that cool sphere, cool mind, but also have a little compassion and kindness for them? I don't think so. It's like a very hit and try. The more you try, you realize, oh, it's tough. So it's easy to lose your cool, but to maintain that compassion, that kindness, that is rarity. All right. Now, so from Avalon, it has entered into the city of France, and with the expansion of the heart space of the collective souls of that area, you know, that collective expansion of the consciousness, it opened doors to liberty. And this allowed Lady Liberty, who is one of the members of the karmic board, to advocate for souls in the upper realms and dimensions. And no matter where you are on this planet hearing to this, you must have seen the photo of Lady Liberty holding the torch, that flame in her hand. It's the flame of liberty, of love, of peace, whatever. The soul illuminates your consciousness. It illuminates the souls from fear, and it helps them that move towards experiencing more love and serve the light of unconditional love on this planet. So, what is this rose teaching? These were the teachings that were taught even by Mary Magdalene in south of France, and before that, Mother Mary also was an initiate. And if this is coming to you, then you are somewhere connected to the Blue Rose Order, because we are souls traveling from ancient times, and it's the wisdom of the heart, and you are a keeper of the wisdom of the heart. Everybody has the potential, but the best way to connect is that just focus on your heart space. The first time I was asked by my masters to connect, I connected in my Akashic records, and the very first thing was that it felt like a very blue flame, like burning very bright in my heart space, and I could just see it expanding, and it expanded, like you're covering the entire area where I was, and the area the complete location where I was. And it really started to give me a feeling of somewhere feelings of the things that I've been guilty of, or the times when I lost my cool. It just started to come to surface. I started feeling really weird, and I used the flame to melt it all from my heart space, and it gave me a little energy push in a way which I did not know was in me. These teachings are encoded in your in your soul's memory. They are coming with you. The light codes are already, if you are here to serve the blue lineage, your codes are already in you, sitting in your heart space and your womb space. And there are some codes that you will obviously download from the ethers, because you left your imprint time and again when you incarnated, so it's present in your ethers, or it's going to come from the grand central sun. But most of it, the wisdom that you have acquired as a soul from various incarnations, it is sitting in your heart space and womb space. You have already incarnated with that light codes of wisdom, and when the time is right, when you are going to match the perfect energy, you will automatically start to channel it, right? So this is a little bit about the blue lineage and the priest and priestesses of this lineage. They will feel a calling to serve towards being more compassionate, more peaceful, of being more kind, and living a harmonious existence. Things like manipulation, chaos, or you know using other person for their own advantage, things like these, cheating or betraying anybody. They could have been betrayed 1,000 times, but they will still hold on to the kindness and compassion that is in their heart space. It's like it's inbuilt in them, and no matter how much they have to go through on this planet, they won't be leaving that. Because remember, if you are the if you're the priestess, or the high priest or priestess, you have done your training. You're not here to learn anything more, you're here to share. And that that wisdom that you have collected is kind of hardcore it's like a hardcore wired inside of you, if I'm able to put that across nicely. It's kind of deeply coded into your core values now, and no amount, or no matter how much amount of shit is thrown towards you, you will still hold on to that, and you will not let go of that, and you will hold others in that space. Yes, you do have certain lessons to improve and come into your power, but you're here to serve, right? So this is for the brothers and sisters whom I have incarnated and learned these teachings in the previous lifetimes, in this beautiful blue rose lineage. And we are here together to carry the codes and knit a beautiful net around this planet, so that we can raise one another, and in turn we can raise the energy of Mother Earth. There is no better example of this energy, uh, like Mother Earth herself. Because if you see Mother Earth, the way she has gone through so much of war, so much of bloodshed, so much of deforestation, so much of corruption, whatever the problems we see on this planet, the way we are destroying Mother Earth, she still holds us. By providing food, she still nourishes us. By giving us a house, that stability, we are not falling off the planet, right? She's holding us, very important. And she is providing the warmth and comfort and that peace. When we go out in nature, have you felt the sense of relaxation and peace? Like the mother is comforting you, and you're finding that it has become very relaxing. No amount of entertainment can relax you the way Mother Nature can relax us, right? So she is the biggest example of that energy that I can give or think of right now. And with this, I would leave you all, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Whatever I research, whatever I experience in my own spiritual journey, I just want to put it out there for anybody who thinks there is it might help them. I don't know, but I think it's like a call of duty, and I would really like to serve light. And I think I'm prepared for it now, right? Because when I meet with the clients, I have seen how they respond to the energy that I'm providing, and with the time, it has really given me a lot of confidence with the time and experience so far that yes, I am on the right path. And I really hope you guys, whoever is listening, finds their right path and is able to pick up the call of light and answer it finally once and for all. May the love and light guide you. Take care.